Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Song Radio Show, Red Pill Edition. And today's topic, I'm just wishing all of the fathers happy Father's Day. And I'm doing this video because men in general get a bad rap, but fathers aren't understood because today's culture of gynocentrism that's based on feminist Marxism basically cuts the father out of the picture and the father becomes a paycheck. But let me tell you something about a father. There are fathers out here who are taking care of their children by themselves and they don't get the same worship that single mothers get. In fact, fathers are doing a job and they're not even going down to the court system getting child support like mothers are. These fathers love their children. You have fathers out here who help their children with homework. You have fathers who have changed diapers. I know I did. The role of a father is to be a leader of his house. He is the provider. The father is supposed to get his orders from the Most High. If you understand the hierarchy of civilizations, you can understand why the hierarchy works when the man is the leader, because the man is the breadwinner. But in this society that promotes women going to work, women getting an education, women in leadership positions, you have a lot of dysfunctionality. Now, why do we have dysfunctionality? It's because women do not know how to forecast and they base everything off of what's going on in their current lives and they look at everything through the eyes of emotion. But when it comes to being a father has to keep his emotions calm so he can lead. He's the one who is doing the planning, the organizing. He's the one who's designing ways for him to meet the goals and objectives for his family. Because if a father allows his feelings to come out like women do, the whole family system is destroyed. Now, the feminist Marxists have already destroyed the modern family. And this is why men don't want to get married. Now, I want to put this out to a number of men on Father's Day. If you are a sperm donor, you're not a father. You just impregnated a woman from irresponsible sex. See, a father is one who takes sacrifices, and he takes sacrifices to heart. A father loves hard. A father is the one who is coaching. He's guiding his children. He's teaching his children how to be model citizens. And to teach your children, it's not just when they are coming up, it's when they have passed the age of 18. I still go to my father for advice when I don't know an issue. The father is the elder statesman because the father has the knowledge. You see, you can go to school and have all the education, but do you have wisdom? See, a number of these women out here who talk about this day as being their day because they have their children don't understand what the role of a father is. They're just a single parent. You don't hear a man on Mother's Day talk about he is the mother and the father. No, a man plays his role and he doesn't say anything about it. Women are the ones who want to be honored for being a single mother. But if you look at it, a number of women don't get the respect from their children that real men get. And you have a number of women who don't want the father in their children's lives. Because the father to her, once they don't make it together, is the enemy. And she brainwashes the children with that type of thinking. And a father has to go through hell to even have anything to do with his children. So it's not always the father that is running out of the house. The mother runs the father out of the house. But we don't talk about that when it comes to social issues. We make out the father to be the fault of everything. Look, the father is the guide. The father is in second command to the Most High. But as a father, you have to understand what is going on out in the real world. And fathers, we have to go to work and put up with more stress than a number of women have to put up with. We take jobs to take care of our family. You know, women talk about they've worked 2 or 3 jobs. Well, men have done that. Men have taken jobs that they never wanted to do, but they had to make sacrifices for their family. And see, women are selfish, whereas men, we are selfless. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to being a father, a real man who is a father has courage. He is not a eunuch. He is not a simp. A father has a lot of love. Although we are not nurturers, we believe in using logic and wisdom to teach our children how the real world works. Again, if you see a lot of homes that, and I don't encourage fathers being single fathers because you don't see many of them, but I tell you what, they still run more efficiently than single mother households because a father is not full of drama. A father wants to do his job, he wants to be left alone. And being a father, we're not afraid to go to battle. We don't have to tell everybody that we're strong and independent because we know what we have to do. And everything that women say about education, independence, that's just being an adult to us. And as a father, we have to be grown up. And we have to be grown up because we are the ones who have to make decisions on what's going on. A father is not afraid to make sacrifices. Many of those fathers sacrificed themselves in World War I, World War II, D-Day. And we celebrated Memorial Day last May. But those individuals who perished were fathers. But a father is a family man. And to you young fathers out here, listen to some of the older fathers. Let them guide you. And what fathers need to do is have support groups. Because when it comes to male spaces, they're few and far between. And as a father, you're always going to get put down by the feminists because you don't need the government like they need the government. You don't need validation like mothers need validation. And I want to tell you another thing. Today is a day for fathers. This is not Mother's Day. And what I mean by Mother's Day, you have a number of mothers who believe that they are the mother and the father. No, mothers had their day a month ago. This is a day for fathers to be cherished and appreciated. And if your woman and then your women to whom you're friends with doesn't acknowledge you as a man on your days, or let's say remember the special days for you by taking you out and doing something for you, don't have anything to do with that woman because she expects you to do the same thing for her. It used to be back in the days when we called our fathers, mothers, well, the fathers had to pay for the calls known as collect calls. Meanwhile, we did everything to make Mother's Day work. In other words, we got the flowers, we got the dinners. It's more like royalty for Mother's Day. But for Father's Day, we don't make it a royalty. It's a plain day. But fathers, you can't let society hijack the day. You got to speak up. because you have a rightful place in this world just like the woman does. And it's still a man's world. And there's nothing wrong with teaching your sons how to be a man, because if you teach your sons how to be a man, they're going to be good fathers. But that's only going to happen if you, as a father, understand your role as a man. And you have too many men in today's society who are fathers, but they are dormant. They want the mom or the woman to go out and do the work while they stay home and play Mr. Mom. That's role reversal. Role reversal does not work. As a father, you should have a job. You should have some type of certification if you have a trade. You should have an education if you are going into a profession such as being a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an architect, or an accountant. A father should always be a leader. A father should always be a coach. A father should be the one who makes the final decisions in his house. With today, you have a number of women who want to wear the business suits. They want to get the education because they want to be the head of the household. And you have to ask, well, who is providing? And when it comes to a father, he's supposed to coach his woman. He's supposed to let her know how the household is going to be run. But many fathers don't do that because these young fathers did not have men in their lives guiding them to teach them what the role of a father is. And this is why a number of the younger fathers don't have an idea how to communicate properly with some of the older fathers, because the older fathers were raised by their grandfathers and their fathers, whereas the younger fathers have been raised by their mom's sisters, their grandmothers. So you have two types of fathers out here. You have the emasculated father and you have the masculine father. But at the end of the day, if you're doing the job as a father, you get my appreciation. And it's up to men, particularly men of elder states, to bond with the younger men, because these younger men do need help being fathers. Now, again, I'm not addressing sperm donors because those aren't fathers. And a man, you should not give a woman your seed if she intends to use your kid as a paycheck. You have a number of women doing that. And being a father takes a lot of discipline. It takes wisdom. It takes knowledge. You are the CEO of your house. And as a father, you have to understand that you have to control your emotions. Because if you want your family to have trust in you, you have to set the tone. And setting the tone means you have to have standards. You can't allow outside forces to come into your relationship to destroy it. And you have to teach your woman that, because there are a lot of women out here who are influenced by outside forces, such as pastors and news media, professors. Women are easily influenced. You as a man got to put up that defense. You are the first line of defense for your family. And again, there are fathers out here who don't get the credit for being single fathers. Now, I don't encourage single parenthood of either gender, but it happens. But you don't hear anything about fathers grumbling about utilizing the system and using that child against the mother. Now, there may be some instances, but there are not as many, because fathers aren't filled with drama. It's the mothers who are filled with drama, and it's the mothers who want to control their children, because the only safe haven that that mother has for her own self-esteem is to utilize that child as control against the father, to keep the father paying that mother, and the mother can continue to utilize that system against the father for anything. But as a father, you don't want to deal with this functionality. So when it comes to the system as a father, you need to know the system because divorce does run rampant here in the United States, and women initiate 73 to 75% of the divorces. Now, I know I've said a lot in this video, but I am breaking it down to what a father needs to do to maintain his manhood. And most of all, a father should not be afraid to be masculine. Too often, masculinity is deemed toxic when it's femininity that we need to uphold when it comes to women. It's feminism that's toxic because feminism has destroyed the traditional family. And when you have a band of fathers together, you can build a community on a collective level because it's the father who has all of the logic, the planning, the directing, the coordination, the production. Women don't have those skills. A woman's job is to nurture, facilitate, and administer. The father's job is to design, build, operate, and maintain. The problem is when it comes to these women, they want to step into the roles of a man and they don't even understand what a man's roles are. But they want the man's role without the responsibility. They always want to be the individual who is delegating the authority, but when the authority blows up in their face or goes wrong, they don't want to be accountable for their actions. As a father, as a man, you are accountable for your actions. That's why men, as fathers, we have to grow up. Women never have to grow up because they are protected and they are spoiled by the society, and many women don't appreciate what has been done for them by men. They look at men as something of entitlement we're supposed to do for them. But men are becoming more and more wise. They're not getting married. They're not having children with a lot of dysfunctional women. The only ones who are having children by dysfunctional women are dysfunctional men. They're your Pookies and Ray Rays and your Skillets and your Busters who want to use women for sex. Well, these aren't real men. These are whoremongers. And as a real man, you're a teacher. You're a father. You're a man. You're a leader. And don't allow society to use this day against you. And what I'm talking about is this is not a day for women. This is a day for fathers. That's why it's Happy Father's Day. And we have to keep it on the calendar. Because there are a lot of feminists who want to take this day off the calendar because they don't believe in fatherhood. Because a number of these feminists never had fathers themselves. But as a man, as a father, you have standards. You have goals. You can see long term. You don't see short term. And you understand life is a business. That's what a father is supposed to do. We don't get credit for being independent or strong-minded. We don't need it. Why? Because that's what we're supposed to do. And we need to stop giving women credit for being an adult. Because having your own is what you're supposed to have because you're an adult. But many of us have spoiled women to the point of no return because a lot of men who are fathers can be very hypergamous. It's okay to be hypergamous with your daughters because you don't want your daughters getting involved with the wrong man. I can understand that. But as a father, you cannot tell your daughter that she's a princess because she's going to utilize that as an entitlement tool when she gets in the real world, and she's going to have a problem dating. And also as a father, you cannot let the mother go against your rules in the house because you have some mothers who will do that because the mother really wants to control the household. But as a father, you believe in the Most High. You are the leader in your house. You're the one who has to deal with the battle. You die early. You make all the sacrifices. A father's job is thoughtless. We think fathers are nothing more than paychecks. But at the end of the day, I've just broken it down on some of the roles that fathers play. And on this day, you need to appreciate what a real father is. Again, this is Father's Day, not Mother's Day. And what I'm talking about again, as a woman, you are not the mother and the father. You had your day. You don't see fathers saying, we are the mother and father on Mother's Day. So let us enjoy our day. And guys, if women don't acknowledge this day and your birthday, you don't need that woman because they expect you to acknowledge their days. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be in a relationship, you got to know your lane and she's got to know her lane, and you must be interdependent. And don't be afraid to stand in there as a father, as a man, because you are the provider and protector of your family. And I just want to say, God bless you. That's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show, Father's Day edition. Please like the video. Please comment, share, and subscribe again to you young fathers out here. Listen to the older fathers who are doing the job. Don't listen to whoremongering individuals who have never been fathers. Those guys are deadbeats. Listen to positive men in your life. Because if you have positive men in your life, you're going to be a positive man. Because if you're going to set an example, you got to learn from an example. Again, this is just real truth from a 54-year-old father himself. But again, at the end of the day, don't be afraid to be a man. Masculinity is not toxic. Fatherhood is not toxic. You need fatherhood. Fatherhood creates stability. And as a father, you set standards. I've rambled long enough. Once again, I just want to wish all of the fathers happy Father's Day. Enjoy the rest of your day. And once again, my name is Leon Jones. God bless you. I'm out.